So we've got a pirate ghost, cursed treasure, and a booby-trapped room. That's not a sentence you hear every day.
If we don't solve the mystery, ancient evil will be unleashed.
Yeah, let's start with you and talk about Sam and the ability that she has to think outside the box. And that at first people may think that's strange, but that is actually something so wonderful.
Yes, it is something so wonderful, and I was so thankful that they brought that into the character, that she was, this spunky Spitfire girl that was just so, she just, right on the spot would just go and do something without really thinking, and yeah, she thought outside the box, and that really worked, in her favor. She tried everything to try and solve this mystery, and I feel like if it wasn't for that, and if it wasn't for their amazing friendship and the ebb and flow that they have together, then they wouldn't have been able to solve the mystery. And it was great to be able to play, a Mexican American girl. And yeah, she's just such a beautiful character, and I loved learning about her because she was just such a fascinating girl. And I would say that I am kind of like her, but I'm also not really like her in a lot of ways. So I really had to try to step into that very spunky Spitfire kind of personality, because in real life I'm very I'm a little bit shy and I'm very whatever, but it was really great getting to step into the shoes of this powerful, amazing, strong Latina lead. It was amazing.
Equally as talented, but with a more scientific brain. I mean, I love it. It makes it, cool and interesting. And Mia, talk to me about Jade.
Yeah, so Jade Lee is a Chinese American surfer, which is incredible. She is this very much of outgoing, talkative, fashionista, who also happens to be a little bit of a science nerd. And that was really interesting to see, she had layers, and that was something that was really wonderful, is that she was layered as a person would be layered, but she also just had something about her that was very, something was very different and unique, and she had multiple, she's multifaceted, very much multifaceted. And for me as an Asian American girl growing up now, but also growing up with my mom who was born in the 80s, I would watch shows from her time and be like, wow, if I ever saw an Asian character, they were always the math nerd or just the nerd in general. And for me, getting to see that there are characters now being written as these layered, different, unique characters who were able to have friendships between two ethnicities and have that represented on screen, it was really wonderful. It was really incredible, because you sort of got to see, TV, and with movies you don't really see how the world really is. You always have the token characters.
Yeah.
But for Sam and Jade, this was their normal, and that was something that was really wonderful. And I think that is really important to represent.
So Surfside Girls was based on a graphic novel that then you're able to adapt into a series for us to kind of go along in the mystery as well. So talk to me a little bit about how that was done.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, it's based on a graphic novel by Kim Dwinell, very talented artist. And, I was brought on the project after Apple had developed it for a bit to, see it to greenlight to series. And, what was so wonderful about Kim's novel was she really created this sleepy beachside town, Central Coast, California, Surfside, that you want to live in and you want to be there, and you wish it existed so you can visit. And she had these great characters, Jade, Lee, and Sam, who 13 years old, and they have the run of this small town, and they solve mysteries on the beach. So we took that kernel of an idea and world and built it out to a 10-episode mystery for the 10, and then we expanded families and Sam and Jade's friendship and their dynamic, and they're sort of at this crossroads of their lifelong friendship. And it, I really love the idea of having two diverse female leads be very smart and strong, and, you know, curiosity is their superpower, but also to explore their friendship, that they're at this crossroads, you know, summer before they start middle school. Are they going to stay friends forever?
And I loved seeing that they're fully fleshed out with their families too. You know, you see how, you know, Jade is so outgoing, yet she craves to kind of have that family unit there because she's had to take a more responsible role than maybe Sam has to, because her family is so loving and so involved and, you know, pulls them in different directions, which is so universal and reflected depending on which kind of family you come from. So maybe talk a little bit about that aspect.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that, like, I feel like the Lees and the Torreses are very similar, but I feel like there was something so beautiful, like that you were saying, that Jade always felt comfortable, like, coming to the Torres house and to the burger dude, because something that's very common in Mexican families is that we're all invite the third cousins twice removed, like everybody you can possibly think of to invite to your house, and it's all like 50 people crammed in this like tiny house. But it's just so amazing because we're such loving people, and we just want to invite everybody. So, you know, the more the merrier. And I was so happy to see that, like, you know, Jade had this place that she could come to with her best friend and her family, and it was something that was so beautiful to really see both of those families like represented. And even with the Lee house, like how there was like the no shoe rule, I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, it was really interesting to me because even though I mean I've had to play Asian American roles, and I've had to tell them that. They're like, okay, so this is the shoes you're gonna wear, and I'm like, I don't wear shoes in my house.
Yeah, you don't wear shoes in your house.
Maybe that's just a carpeting thing, but I really don't wear shoes in my house. And they're like, oh, really? Then don't wear them. And that's like an incredible thing that it was already written in there. And for me, I'm Japanese and Chinese, and so I really got to explore a side of my heritage that I hadn't really gotten to look into deeply, and that it was also represented in a character, which I think is incredible. And yeah, I mean, like Yaya said, Jade really she's part of a satellite family, which means that her dad lives and works in Hong Kong, so she only talks to him every so often. They're on opposite sides of the world, and she sort of feels that, you know, I mean, with her older sister working and her mom working, she feels kind of by herself and has to be very responsible for herself and sometimes her older sister. And when she goes to Sam's house, she really feels a part of that whole, like, sit down and have a meal and talk about the things they're interested in, what they did. It was just something that I felt was, I mean, I do that with my friends. I go to their house and we have dinner and we talk. Yeah. And I think that was something that was just super fun. And also the in-between scene parts were fun because we were all just, like, laughing, actually getting to know about each other as, you know, individual people, which I think is awesome.